Hey, fantastic fam! Welcome to our community where we combine the woo and the work. We are two professional women who believe we can have it all and constantly upgrade ourselves to meet our visions. I'm Kalyani and I've chosen the off-roading path to personal development, being an entrepreneur with the journey of motherhood. I'm an economics postgraduate and I love working with all things mind and money. I've founded and sold one business and I'm now building this business that feels like fun and freedom for life.
Hi, I'm Rupali. I'm a numbers nerd turned Reiki master and many other things. I found a passion for all things wellness. I've worked in banking and finance for 15 years and I love combining that knowledge with all things energetics to create impact in a fun, easy way for others. Join us as we share the behind the scenes of us creating wealth, freedom and magic.
Welcome to today's edition of Fantastic Females, and I'm so excited to speak to you today about the concept of being humble, about the concept of being a good girl and kind of feeling like you always need to be in the backdrop, be very shy, be very coy, and the effect that that has on all actions in our lives, and the fact that it might be holding us back from reaching our full potential. So this episode is going to be me riffing on this topic that I've had to deal with in my life as well. I think a lot of us are brought up with good intentions of and learnings around being humble, being simple, being kind of merging in, giving others a chance. And yes, as practical and as useful as these traits might be, it's taken a long time for me to understand that no employer, or nearly, let's say nearly no employers, no employer that I've met has wanted that in their employees. No employees that I have recruited, I have wanted these traits in. I don't want them to be shy, coy, generous in terms of giving others a chance, downplaying their achievements. No, I've always wanted them to be confident, stand up for their skills, show me their skills, and take it from there. So does this tendency of kind of my work is going to show for itself, I don't need to speak, my work will speak for itself, does that tendency help us? I don't think so. I don't think that that's the right attitude to take, because in the end, if we don't talk about our work, then who else will? If I don't come on Instagram and talk about my work, then who else will? And I have to admit that over the period of time, there have been layers of this that I have uncovered, and there are layers of insecurities that come up, because sometimes without these layers you don't know who you are. These layers have been protecting you for years and years. So if I could invite you to do anything today, it would be to ask yourselves, where in your life are you not where you'd want to be? And maybe if that's a place that requires you to be seen, if that's a place that requires you to get attention from clients, from bosses, from employees, from subordinates, from colleagues, from family, in-laws, what have you, kids, partners, if the situation requires any sort of limelight or attention to come your way, and your general tendency is to not speak about your achievements, to not speak about your work out of a sense of being humble. While humility is a trait that is very much appreciated and celebrated in our cultures, I don't think it's a practical trait that is useful in modern society. And the invitation that I was extending was around being aware that if there is a desire that you are not seeing fulfilled and it requires you to come into any type of limelight, while you have this inner deep set feeling, belief that you need to be humble, then maybe that's simply holding you back. You feel like any way that you would need to come in the spotlight, let's say be on the stage, do public speaking, or get credit for something that you've done, will not be seen as being humble, does not feel right in your body because it's not humble, and that's how we've been brought up. Let me say that it's not serving you very well. And if the opposite of humble is being confident, then let's deal with the opposites of being humble. Okay, so one facet of the opposite of being humble would be being confident. You tell me if that's a desirable quality that you'd want in people around you. Yes, 100%. The other facet of the opposite emotion of humble would be to be convinced in your own self-worth. Tell me once again, is that a quality, is that a trait that you appreciate in others? One other facet, a nuanced facet that is the opposite of being humble, is sometimes this sense of being selfish. Yeah, that this person is selfish and they kind of put themselves first. They're not humble. They don't come from that place. And while selfish, the word has a negative connotation, I have come to realize, and once again, this is through my personal growth journey, that if you can't look after yourself, you can't look after anyone. So being selfish is actually the most selfless thing that you could do for anyone around you. So if being selfish means putting yourself out there, means being confident, means taking care of yourself in whatever way it is relevant for you, whatever way suits you the best, then maybe we need to change the connotation, the perception around the word selfish, right? So for today, in this short episode, I would like to bring your attention to anywhere that there is an incongruency between your desires, your actions, and your thoughts and your beliefs. Between wanting to be successful, let's say, in whatever way you want to be successful, and if that requires any type of limelight, if that requires any type of attention coming your way, then that being in opposition from the very basic value that you may have been raised with of being humble, of humility, and now finally coming to the realization and telling the part of you that it's time to let this go, saying thank you for protecting you in whatever way that it did. It came with a positive intention. So we're talking to humility within our systems, within our body. Identify where you feel it. Say thank you for the purpose that it served all these years. Please convey in a very simple and direct manner that I'm ready to let go of this feeling of holding myself back for the sake of humility, for the sake of giving others a chance before me, and I'm ready to take all my power. I'm ready to show up in the most self-actualized way, with full power, with full pomp and show, and be that exuberant person without needing to feel humble, without holding myself back. So tell this part and see what happens after the awareness comes to this belief. Generally, the belief starts dissipating as soon as there's awareness that's brought to it. So do this today. Let me know in the comments or on my Instagram DMs how you feel. And if this is a deep set belief, then today may just be a start of a movement that you need to have going internally, and do this for at least 21 days in whatever small way that suits you. It doesn't have to be a big ritual that you sit in a cross-legged posture for 45 minutes every day with incense on. No. We like to keep things simple around here. Simple is the only way things get done. So simply just set an intention that you're ready to let go of this part. Anytime that these thoughts, these patterns show up in your daily life, make that pivot, make that correction, remind yourself, and you're good to go. Give it about 3 weeks, and I'd love to hear back from you.
We would really appreciate your feedback as reviews on the podcast app you tune in from. Support us also by sharing this podcast with 3 of your besties who would benefit from being fantastic.